is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. It is game day in the cave. Nothing better than a little game day football. And Sunday night football is even sweeter. A little bittersweet for me. I was supposed to be there, but my emotions got the best of me. So I got to deal with that. So we're going to figure that thing out today, but we're going to talk about it. So as you guys get rolling, hit that like, hit thumbs up, hit that subscribe just down below. Also, as I mentioned, we've reached new levels in the cave thanks to you guys, and we now can have members. So what it does is it supports the channel. It's a very low-cost thing. You don't have to do it, but if you'd like to do it, it's there. We got some new members. Once I get up to 20, just going to start small, I'm going to do some giveaways. So, you know, I'm always like Ice Cube was my guy back in the day. So Ice Cube always said, give something back to the place where you made it from. So I'm going to give back. You know what I'm saying? So I got gift cards. I got certain things that I'll be doing giveaways to members only. So all you got to do is hit that join button on the bottom if you so desire. So we are here with the Sunday morning crew. We got G-Reg in the house. How you doing, G-Reg?
Doing good, baby. I'm just a little sad I can't go to this Chargers game because of this surgery, but I'm going to sell my tickets at a great price.
No. I tell you what, if I wasn't going on a cruise this weekend, I'd take you up on it because I'm really upset about this game, missing it. I don't like missing primetime games. And, of course, we got one of the newest members of the Cave family. We got Jeff. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How's everyone doing?
We are doing good. I'm running on fumes. Any of you guys who know me, you know I've been dealing with some stuff. Some of you guys were texting me. So getting all these things out of the way. So I'm living on fumes. Get this show going. The hype wakes me up. The game tonight, I better not fall asleep. I'll be really mad. But the Cowboys should do good to keep me awake. So we're going to get into a few things. Definitely want you guys participating in the chat. I see everyone's kind of loading up. So it's morning time. You guys got to get your coffee. I got my coffee. Where am I at? My coffee's all ready to go. And we are going to start. And I apologize because my graphic is a week old, but I'm behind in the time, so this is what it is. But really what it comes down to is playoffs. So the scenarios for the Cowboys, we got to win out. You don't win out, forget it. Don't win out, it's over. That's the bottom line. We have no room for error in our game. Starts with Minnesota. So now you're looking at what are your best options? What are the best options? Path through the East. The Eagles lost to the Chargers, so they need to go 2-2. They've got the Raiders, Washington twice, at Buffalo. And then really the other one that I think there's an option is the Bears. The Bears lost, so they've got to go 2-2. They got Cleveland. Shador's playing pretty well. They got Green Bay, San Francisco, and Detroit. I think the other three, you're probably out of the runnings. I don't think Green Bay. I think Seattle. I think San Francisco. They just got to win one. I think we're kind of lost on that. So I'm thinking it's that. Jeff, anything you want to add between the two? Am I missing something, or what's your thoughts on the Cowboys in the playoff scenario?
No, I agree with you. You got to win out. No room for error, especially after losing to Arizona, and that Detroit game was going to be a tough one anyway. So looking at it, Cleveland could slip up as well as they've played. Not Cleveland, Chicago, sorry. Chicago could slip up with as well as they've played, ending with Green Bay, San Francisco, and the Lions.
That's tough.
That's a tough 3-game stretch.
Yeah.
So I think that as well as they've played, they could end up at home, sitting down, watching the playoffs, wondering what in the world just happened to our season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no,
that's the biggest one for me to watch.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Greg, what do you think? Do we have an implosion up in Philly that's gonna get us in the playoffs, or Chicago? What do you think the chances look like?
I hope Philly is imploding, but it looks like Philly doesn't have the desire and the heart to try to win another one, going back to back. And I think they're just kind of coasting. Like we talked earlier, and Jeff was saying, everybody on the team seemed like they're coasting, and it does. They got rid of some key defensive players. The offense isn't looking that good. It's kind of boring to watch them play, really. And then they managed to pull the game out some because teams basically didn't do their job to finish. But I think out of all these teams right here is between Seattle and where's the other one I was talking about? Seattle and the Bears that got the toughest. Yeah. Seattle, I think Seattle is looking better because their first this Atlanta game, and then
Atlanta they beat. So now they're playing Grandpa Rivers. And I'll be honest, I put $250 on Seattle. There ain't no way in hell that this dude's going to walk off the street against that defense. If he does, then Vegas deserves to have my money. Yeah. So those are the toughest two. But all I'm concerned about, in spite of all of them, is that we went out and just win today first. That's all I want. I just want to absolutely win today first, because if we win today, we can focus on next week. We can see how everything pans out with the other teams and just stay focused on us, because Philly can lose one of those games against Washington. And I'm hoping that Buffalo dusts their brakes off, because if Buffalo dusts their brakes off, that might be the final thorn in their side to make them totally implode. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think it's coming down to Philly and the Bears. I think those are the two best options. The Bears have been I call them the Washington Commanders of this year. Just they find ways to win, but they're not a great team, but they're a scrappy team. But I think looking at Green Bay, San Francisco, and Detroit, and I wouldn't sleep on Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland, they've got that defense that can be a problem. Shador is playing, he's playing pretty well at quarterback now. It's amazing that he was a 5th-round pick, but that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. But those are the options I see. I think Green Bay's kind of out of it. And then obviously, I think the Panthers were ahead of us a little bit. So, some of that's going to have to happen too. But looking at those schedules, it's not. Looking back, I don't know if you guys watched the Thursday night game, but just real quick, looking back, that Buccaneers game, this tells you that nothing is guaranteed, and this is why you play the game. In 4 weeks, anything can happen. The Atlanta Falcons were the walking wounded, down 14 points in the fourth quarter, and Baker Mayfield, I don't know what the hell he was thinking on that one pass. They absolutely imploded and lost to the Atlanta Falcons. But that's why you play the game, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. And, I picked Tampa to win. I figured last week that was a one-off. But playing against Atlanta, starting as quarterback gone, playing in Tampa Bay, throwback uniforms, I'm like, Tampa's going to win. It's not even going to be a competitive game. Yeah. I had no answers for Kyle Pitts, who I'm happy because he's on my fantasy team. So he gave me like 46 points. So that was great. First round of playoffs. But another thing, I have never seen, I say never, but it's been a while, Atlanta committed 19 penalties.
Oh, we were talking about that. Yeah.
19 penalties and still won the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
why don't we do that?
All I'm hearing from Tampa was, hey, Mike Evans, as soon as he comes back, we're going to be Bucky Irvin when he comes back and when Worth comes back. And hey, for me, the Grim Reaper just came out on Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Carolina's going to end up winning that division, and that coach is going to get fired.
Yeah, like, they played Carolina twice, right, Gray? They played Carolina twice. So it's going to be interesting. Carolina wins that division. If you guys know the Buccaneers head coach, Todd Bowles, he was with Dallas. He's a Parcells kind of guy. Very even keel. Doesn't really curse. Doesn't really show a lot of emotion. He had a explicit filled press conference, and he finally showed some frustration because that was the most undisciplined game. And we've been part of some bad ones with Dallas. We commit some penalties. It was unbelievable. And Evans and these guys had big games, but the penalties absolutely annihilated them. Greg, what's your thoughts on that? Did you watch it?
Yeah, oh yeah, I definitely watched that game, and I was hoping Atlanta would win. I didn't think they had a chance, but the way Atlanta beat them with all the penalties and with the lack of production by Tampa Bay's offense being consistent, that game just blew my mind. And Todd Bowles played in NFL. I think he played with Chicago Bears back in the day. Todd Bowles, you can see the pressure on him in that post-game interview, and you can tell how disgusted he was, because that was their Arizona Cardinals game like ours. Yeah. Everybody Everybody knew Tampa was going to take that game, and that was just an easy one. And they got beat at home against a team with Kirk Cousins, who isn't consistent. Not consistent Kirk Cousins. He's inconsistent, but played a decent enough game to keep them in it and still win with all the penalties and setbacks. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, didn't even have London, but Kyle Pitts, who's always been kind of, hey, they may let him go. And, Dallas, the Dallas fans always, they're enamored with his skill set. I mean, he's a genetic freak coming out of college at that position. Never lived up to the hype, but he was an absolute wrecking machine. I had him on fantasy playoff time. Couldn't have picked a better game in the playoffs to throw up 40 points, but he's phenomenal. He had a huge game. Bijan Robinson, I mean, another big game. I don't want to get too into the weeds of it, but I think, sometimes America, we got to relax a little bit. I mean, he got some heat for saying something, a high school game that I think anyone who was born in that era or before, we used to always call it, that was the game. Not saying it's right or wrong, but that was just, the reality of it. And I don't think he should take a lot of heat. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that or you want to stay away from it.
Well, I'll just make a quick comment. It's unfortunate. It's like anybody else. Once you get up in the media like this, or you get up in prime time, and whether it's NFL, Major League, or whatever, unfortunately, you go things that happen as you were growing up. And a lot of parents have a lot to do with this. Things that you saw as norms as you were growing up, and you're young and you're out in the media and you don't realize the impact. You end up saying things that come natural to you.
Yeah.
You may not necessarily mean it because you really don't even understand what you're saying, but you do it because that's how you were raised. And a lot of parents out there, if you see that and if you watch football and you saw that, you start looking back at home at your kids and you realize, listen, I don't want you to be that child one day, whether it's in the media or not. I need to teach you the right way and don't make this the norm.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a kid. He's just kids.
Yeah, he's just a kid.
I think we've all got caught up in the moment, sometimes saying things that back in the day were more appropriate than they are currently. Look, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Booker T.
greatest promo ever.
Hey, so I'm just saying, there's instances when all that's taking place. I hope that he comes out and apologizes and he did.
He did. I just hope that people don't kill him. I mean, I hope people, just look and I look back and I don't want to be father time here, but I grew up in Miami area. The type of music that my brothers and I grew up listening to is totally like, Miami bass, Two Live Crew, all the, and when you listen to it now, sometimes I sit myself and I look over at my kids when they were 13 and 14 and I'm saying, I was listening to this and that's there. I said, there's no way in hell. I said, how did my parents allow this? But our parents just, no one knew. My mom found out when she took my brother's car to the store. He had the CD Nasty As They Want to Be in there, and she ended up throwing it out the window, and beat his ass when he came home. But we didn't know. It was just a different time. So hopefully the media just, let it go. He apologized. I don't think he meant any harm to it. It is what it is. So
but and Mike, it's a 15-minute news cycle now. Much stuff goes on now around the world now. 15 minutes, they'll forget about this. Next week, nobody will ever be talking about it again.
Yeah, no, I hope so. One thing that they are talking about, and I really want to get the chat. I want to get your guys' feelings. Everybody's waiting, and we kind of said, hey, is Diggs coming back? He was off he's practicing. There's stuff going on with him and between the team. And I'll give you my opinion, and you don't have to agree. It'd be great if we kind of can have a debate about it. To me, when the Parsons trade happened, his attitude changed. And I'll be honest with you. My mindset is, dude, you're a grown man. You're getting paid big money. This is your job. If you don't want to be here, get to stepping. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it in the locker room, and I don't need a problem. But he just seems to have a little bit of an issue, and I don't think it's conducive to what Shotty's trying to build. So I would much rather the Cowboys just move on. I mean, why play this game where he's practicing and this and that? Now, he said he looked good, and then Jerry said he looked good. Now he's not going to play, and then he made some comments. I mean, it's just going back and forth. But Jeff, start with you. I mean, kind of where are you at with Diggs? Do you have Diggs fatigue, or do you think he's in the right and the organization's in the wrong? I mean, what's your thoughts?
No, he's in the wrong. And I was worried when we were going through the Micah contract situation in the summer. And he came out with Micah, standing for him a little bit too much. Now, people will criticize Dak for not co-signing for Micah and pushing the team to do it, but I thought Diggs was just the opposite. He was the polar opposite, where he was almost detrimental and showing that there was issues within the locker room. So for me, I think his talent. What's the expression? People will deal with you until the problems outweigh your talent.
Yeah,
in my opinion, his problems are outweighing his talent. I mean, we haven't seen him on the field at all this season. Last season, he was a shadow of the player that he was before. For me, I would be looking for a place to trade him to.
Yeah. Greg, what's your thoughts?
I think Diggs has lost his confidence. I think he's lost his confidence on the field. The diva-ness is gone. It's completely gone. He has no confidence whatsoever. He hasn't played in a while. He's afraid of getting out there. Number one, he's got to recover mentally for the injury. Number two, he knows that he wasn't even close to the Diggs that he was the season before last. His confidence is shot. By having Michael gone, his mindset is, okay, I'm trying to get over this confidence. I'm trying to rebuild it. I'm trying to get over my injury. Michael, at least I knew, can put enough pressure on the quarterbacks and stuff to give us opportunities. With Michael gone, he's thinking we're not going to have anybody near Michael to replace him. So now everybody's going to have an opportunity to expose Diggs big time. And when he did come back last year, even with Micah, he got exposed quite a bit, but it was still under the radar because everybody was doing bad. Now, if he comes back, his legs aren't fresh, his mind isn't right, and he doesn't know if he has the confidence to be the Diggs that he was. And I really think Diggs is looking for a escape route out, but wait, some kind of way to do it and have some dignity about it. But I don't have any confidence in. I had his jersey on this morning. I looked up the injury report and I saw because he was supposed to be playing. I saw the injury report and it says they're going to give him another week. I said, no, I'm not even going to wear his jersey on behalf. And the only reason I was wearing it, it was a solidarity. Like, okay, if you're coming back, I'm going to rep you today because I think you really want to be back. But after I saw that, I'm like, it's probably got to be more than that. I said, no, Turpin, you're going to be my man today. And I just put Diggs back. And it's a shame because when I got that Diggs jersey, I just knew he was going to be one of those corners for life for Dallas. And now I'm sitting like, man, this is ridiculous. This guy, he doesn't have the mental capacity right now to even want to play football, let alone come back for us.
Yeah, no, and I think Chris is. I mean, I think the secondary is going to be revamped. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Revel's there. Obviously, you got Bland. The safeties, probably going to be looking at new safeties next year. I mean, it is another corner. You're probably going to be looking at another corner. Carson's been okay, but you're going to see the Cowboys. My guess is in this draft early on in the first round, they're going to be going after somebody.
So let me ask you this though: how do we address all the things we need to in the defense? The linebackers, corners, safeties. I mean, there's not enough draft picks, and we're not going to hit on every single one. And Jerry doesn't go out in free agency.
Yeah.
So how are we going to address all the issues on the back end of that defense?
Yeah. I think just my opinion, then Greg jump in is you got to get strong up the middle. I mean, that's really where the game's won. So they did that, right, with the D tackles. Linebacker Logan Wilson. I mean, now they're talking about getting him in there. I mean, if they didn't think he was better than Murray, then we got a problem, right? So the middle is they're going to have to do something at linebacker. The secondary, like you said, they're going to have to revamp. They're going to have to at least get a corner, but you're more than likely going to need to get two safeties, unless you believe in Wanye Thomas, or Marquise Bell. If you think one of those two can step up, then you could say, okay, that could be the future as the other guys are getting a little longer in the tooth. They got to hit home runs on the draft. But Jerry, and I don't want to get Greg started because I'm trying to have a Jerry free show today to go on going on a tirade. But they're going to have to be very strategic in free agency. I know we say it every year, and it really never comes to fruition. But they have got. I've watched too many shows with players, especially former Cowboys, of course, because I'm biased, and the comment is the same. The Cowboys, they're not dogs up the middle. Now you got Clark, you got Osen, you got Quinnen. So I think they actually handled the D line. But the linebacker, it's just like Darren Woodson was on the pivot. Phenomenal. I'll give a plug. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's more about life than football. And some of the things he talked about, you have more empathy for some of these players. I mean, career cut short faster than he thought, goes through a divorce. And to this day, he said that is his biggest failure. And he's been remarried. He's got a great relationship with his kid. It's just, it was just a phenomenal story. How that guy's not in the Hall of Fame is still beyond me, but definitely check that out. But he was very emphatic. The Cowboys just no dogs. Of course, they got Quinnen, but the linebacker, when you think of Kenny Norton, you think of Robert Jones. I mean, you think of those guys that were coming at you and bringing the wood. We don't have that. And we don't really have that, in the safety like a Woodson. So they've got a lot of work to do. The nice thing is, what I'd say, Jeff, to put a bow on it, their offense is wrapped up. It is pretty much under contract. So their whole focus, their whole priority can be on the defense.
Yeah. And the good thing about it is the focus can be on the defense where it needs to be. And I think they need to address the DBs first. I mean, I don't know what their scheme is going to be, but the DBs first, because if we get some DBs that can just play an average game consistently, we would have been in a lot more games than we were this year. And if Jerry, on behalf of Jerry, and I don't give Jerry credit.
Don't break the internet.
But on Jerry's behalf, this year he did go in free agency. And I think, like I told you last year, I said Jerry had the spotlight on him negatively so bad last year that spotlight wasn't shared with anybody else. The spotlight was posted on him worldwide for everybody to see how inefficient he was. And it really got to him, because when he would go to stadiums, crowds would jeer him and all this. So that was the worst negative spotlight Jerry's had in his entire career. And it made him wake up. And this year in the free agency, he went and did some things, which made us happy. He did one thing back, but then he came back and did something to kind of show it up. Now, what I'm hoping is in the draft, we get some hits, but I'm one of these guys, I don't care what you get in the draft until I see this person proven in the NFL, I'm not sure. And it got to be developed. If we can develop Perion Winfrey, who's quiet as it's kept, is a decent player. If we can develop him, and then we go out in the offseason and get some key defensive backs and defensive people from other teams that we know are hungry to still play, that still got that juice, and we can get a few of those and then sprinkle in with some new talent in the draft, I would be happy. But my biggest issue is, let's go get some veterans, not deep, long year veterans. Yeah. Let's go get some veterans from around the league that we know can come back and show up our defense and make some dogs out of them that are ready to leave a team they've been with for a while. They're not being used correctly. They're tired of losing. And some of them have gotten their Super Bowls and they've been in the playoffs several times. They're ready to move on. Let's get some of those, mix them up with some good draft picks. Then I'll be happy, because what's going to get us to the next level as dogs are going to be some veteran players from other teams that are already developed and got that attitude, and they can help develop the new guys we bring in.
Yeah, 100%. Anything to add to the comments, Jeff? I mean, what's kind of your thoughts on it?
No, I'm in agreement. Like I said, the focus has to be on the defense. I feel like the offense is set. Like, this offense this year is good enough to win the Super Bowl. There's no dominant team in the NFL. So we didn't do ourselves. We messed up early, and we talked about it a little bit last week. We messed up by either, if you're going to let Micah go, let him go before the draft.
Yeah.
Maximize what you get, and you can utilize that, and you'd already had those pieces in.
Yeah.
But now Mike is gone. We're solid through the middle. But now, no back end linebackers Logan Wilson. Why do you trade for him if you're not going to play him?
Yeah.
So I think Jerry's trying to make moves. He made moves. He made moves a week too late. We talked about this.
Oh yeah.
He should have made moves before the Arizona game, not after.
Yeah.
Because we needed to win that game. We'd be in a much better position. But again, playing Monday morning quarterback or Monday morning GM in this case. But now that he's made some moves, I need to make sure, I want Jerry to show us that he's going to continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't just a one moment where he's doing that just because, all right, I'm getting some backlash because I got rid of Micah, so let me do some things.
Mm-hmm.
No, if he's doing that and he's going to be consistent with doing that moving forward, okay.
Yes.
No, I agree 100%. So, I mean, this offseason is critical. I think how the Cowboys play down the stretch is going to be critical too, because I think it'll give these guys, kind of some momentum going into 26. And like I said, you've got all your guys locked up. And I mean, to your point, Jeff, this offense can do about anything. The only thing I don't think this offense is capable of, and I'm going to go out on a limb, I don't think this offense is capable of having a quarterback turn the ball over twice in one play. That was amazing. I'll give my man credit for that, because I don't think that's something that my man it'll never happen on this team. I don't think we'll ever see that again in our lifetime. But this offense is absolutely set. And I just want to jump on the last thing, and then we're going to move on to Minnesota, is the George Pickens. And George Pickens, to me, I've said it before, don't let the media noise skew what this guy is to this team and what he brings to this offense and what he's meant to this offense. Are you guys, again, just to kind of rehash it, it's had more time to let everything marinate. I expect George Pickens to have a huge game tonight. I just think, it's one of those things where someone's going to come out, and I think it's going to be George Pickens. But, I mean, where are you guys at with George Pickens as we moved through another week of the media cycle of it? Are you still no issues, no concern? I know, Jeff, you were kind of maybe on the fence a little bit. Have you changed, or are you still wait and see?
No, again, disappointed with what I saw last time out. I think this game is key for him to show us, all right, that was just, again, a moment in time. That was one game. Yeah. If it carries over to this game, that's going to be a problem, because with him and CD both out there, they're both averaging over 15 yards per catch. It's really hard to double both. Yeah. Because you leave the inside, the slots or tight ends wide open. So for me, we need to see the Pickens that we've seen all year long. Absolutely. I think he's has over 1,100 yards already. And you can throw it up. You can throw that back shoulder. He's physical enough to get the corners off him. He's quick enough to get inside. Even when you play him inside, he can still get inside on the slant. So he's physical enough too, even though he looks a bit thin. So for me, I love when Pickens is playing. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that was just one game, and I'm hoping he has a chip on his shoulder this week. Yeah. Oh, all that stuff you guys are talking about me? Okay. I'm going to show you what time it is. That's what I want to see from him, because for me, he's one of those players we talk about. He's got dog in him. Oh, absolutely. He's got dog in him. You need that kind of passion, and I'm for that. I know not everyone is. I'm for that. I think you need that in your locker room, and you need that on the field. He's a wide receiver. He better have that. Yeah. Right. And he arguably he's a one wide receiver. Yeah. Right. So if you don't have that, as a wide receiver, I kind of look at you a little bit strange. Yeah. So I'm expecting a big game from him tonight. Big game. No,
yeah. I agree. That was a fluke. It doesn't bother me, because I look at the youth. Like I said, we watch these folks on TV. They're grown men, but we sometimes forget that these guys are still young. They're still. Yeah, I think he's only 24. Am I right, Greg? They're still maturing. And they're gonna do things in sports at that level that are going to shock you at times, but long as it's not consistent. And his issue in that game, it'd be different if his issues in that game were because of the business side and he was playing like that. Because we've seen over the years, players who get angry on the business side, they have a game like that. And it shows because they really don't give a damn because they mad. His wasn't that. I think when that second component was removed from the game on concussion, I think all the plays that were designed for him and Lamb, he forgot that when he's running these routes, Lamb is no longer here, where a lot of times the ball's going that way in that same route formation. Now Dak's looking at him the most, and he wasn't paying attention. I think he was just not paying attention. Not that he didn't care to go get the ball, because that's not Pickens. Pickens wants that ball. He wants to eat. I think he just wasn't paying attention, and he was assuming the ball was going somewhere else. When you got to stop and think, you and Lamb are bookends. Dak's looking for one of you every time. If he doesn't have one, he's going to lean more on you, and he wasn't paying attention. And with not just the media, but with the coaching staff, the players, I'm sure they surrounded him in the locker room. They surrounded him that week. They had a kumbaya with him. They had a lessons learned with him, and they brought him back to reality. Listen, this is what we want you to do. You know you had a one-off, but you got to understand, we need you regardless of who's on the field. And you got to be looking as though the ball's coming to you all the time. And it's plays like that you didn't take off, that you weren't paying attention to, could have changed the course of that game. Easily could have changed the course of that game or kept it real, real close. So I'm not worried about that one game.
Yeah.
You know, there was plays that went to him. I'm like, damn, what are you doing? Come on, Cat. But I kind of immediately knew he wasn't really paying attention because Lamb's gone. Now, whether Lamb's there or not, I think we're going to see the Pickens that we've seen all season because they brought it back to his attention.
Yeah.
They realized you need to wake up, Lamb. This is what we need you to do all the time. Okay? We saw what you did. You weren't paying attention. Be bright every play because we need you regardless of where the Lamb is. So I think he'll recover from that. Another 15-minute snooze cycle. It'll be behind us.
Well, and really just to, put a bow on it is plays are so, one play here, one play there just changes everything. And, he had that big pass, PI, Ferguson, idiotic, hands to the face. We would have had the ball inside the 5. That was big. I mean, that could have just changed the feel. It can change, players' mindset. You've been feeling good. So some of that goes into that mentality sometimes with players is, you look back at a few plays and maybe that starts a chain of just kind of, frustration or whatever it is. But I've got zero concern. Also, I don't have any concern if you guys hit that thumbs up. I'll be loving you. Hit that thumbs up right below our name. Like, subscribe, share. See over 200 of you guys hanging out with us. A ton of you guys in YouTube. So I will say in YouTube is where you need to be. So if you're watching on another platform, head over to YouTube. Also, we have gotten to close to 1 million views. So we've kind of elevated our game, and now we're allowed to have members. You can join the Cowboys Cave family. It's like $4.99 to do it. And you get memberships, it has its privileges. We're going to be doing some giveaways. I'm going to do as soon as we hit. I said, if first we'll get off the bat, hit 20. I've got two $50 NFL shop gift cards that I'll be raffling off to the members only. We'll do like a members only show and give those out. So it's an opportunity to support the cave. You don't have to, there's no obligation, but if you want to support the cave and kind of help with some of the expense and all that kind of stuff, it's a great way to do it, but definitely not required, but appreciate it. So
and Mike,
now
let me mention this real quick.
Yes.
Because now that we got a full house out here, guys,
Yes.
I was slated to go to the Chargers game. My sister was going to be there. Some friends in Texas. We had a whole row. Well, because I had to have surgery on my toe and I'm healing, I don't want to take a chance. So I'm going to have to sell my tickets. So if you guys are wherever you look, it's on Ticketmaster, but it's section 202. Seats, I think 18 and 19. They're valued at $840. I bought them for $7 something. But because I can't go, I'm selling them for $670 a pair. So if anybody's interested, contact me. You see my TikTok right here, or my Facebook is Gregory Gerard. So anybody interested, let me know, and I'll sell them to you. And I'm legit, so don't worry about whether you send the money and you don't go get your tickets. You're gonna get your tickets, but they're good tickets. I always like to sit in a good area. I just hate that I can't go, and I don't want to take a chance to get out there and hobble, because you know how loud I get at them Cowboys games.
And if you need to, if you can't find Greg, you can always DM me and I'll get you in touch with Greg. Send me a message on Twitter, send me a message on Instagram, any of that. You guys could do that, and he'll definitely take care of you. And it's Cowboys win Sunday night. That game is gonna be lit. Unfortunately, yes. I'm gonna be on a cruise ship, so I'll be watching. Actually, we stop in the Keys, so I'll be able to watch the first half at a bar. So unfortunately, my wife picked the worst, and I had a long talk with her, and I explained to her when we got married. It's very important. We got married in February 22nd. And the reason we did is I said, we're not getting married during football season. There's no way. My mind, couple of things, had to get married on the 22nd, because you guys know why, Emmitt Smith. And the other reason was I had a feeling that maybe I could get lucky, and the Pro Bowl was in Hawaii, and that's where our honeymoon was. Mm-hmm. And maybe I can get lucky in the Pro Bowl. So I'm always thinking ahead. But she made a family cruise on the weekend. The Miami Hurricanes are playing in the playoffs. We leave on the 19th. Miami plays on that Saturday. And then the Cowboys have a game on Sunday. So, we're on this 5-day cruise, and I already said 2 of the days are over. I said, you made an amateur mistake. You don't do this stuff. I tried to tell you. So we got to figure it out. But I will be watching the games, of course, but I am disappointed a little bit because the Miami one, probably more than the Cowboy Charger, just is a little special to me, and I'm really excited. Playoff, I love playoff football, and seeing Miami in it is definitely.
Look behind you, Mike. Look behind you.
What happened?
You were talking about your wife?
Oh, is she here? No, she's in Orlando. She's in Orlando. I know what I'm doing. She's in Orlando. I was like, as long as she's not. I'm looking at the chat, making sure she's not listening.
Right?
Oh,
man. So, yeah.
What's our record when you've been on the cruise?
I haven't been on a cruise during a game. I did.
I thought you went on the cruise earlier this year while we were playing.
I'm trying to think. Did I go on a cruise? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I have to look back. I'm old. This is what happens when you get older. You forget everything. But I try to avoid it. But the Miami one really got me bummed. But let's not waste any time, because it is Sunday Night Football, and you've got the Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings. We've owned Minnesota in recent years. I mean, I remember Cooper Rush, I think, blew him out. I was up in Minnesota. Dak Prescott, Des Bryant, we beat him up there. Great stadium too, by the way. Looking at this Minnesota team, J.J. McCarthy, they've been shuffling quarterbacks in and out. Their offense is averaging just under 20 points a game. Our offense is averaging just under 30. I think at home we're well into the 30s. Just under 400 yards of offense for us. They're under 300 at 275. Got some dynamic receivers, of course. That could present a problem with our secondary. Turnovers. They've had a ton of turnovers. Young quarterbacks to be expected. Their defense is a little bit better than ours, but if you look at ours in the late, we've been kind of middle of the road. So here's the game, and this is must win. We expect the Cowboys to play very well in must win, coming off a loss, having what we'd call like a mini bye, right? So CeeDee Lamb is playing, so we're going to have the dynamic duo there. Guyton is out. It looks like, Clowney, I believe, is in. Ferguson helped me, but at last word, I think he was going to be in or out. Is he out? Anyone know? He was questionable. He's 100% out?
Well, I don't know 100%, but the last tally on him was that he is not going to play because of that ankle injury. He re-injured it during the week, Wednesday.
Okay. So if he's not, Spanford has been playing pretty well. You guys in the chat, if you guys are watching the NFL, give us the insight if you're seeing Schefter. But what is your, anticipation and just kind of 30,000 foot view of this game of expectations? Jeff, we'll start with you.
So first, it's a home game. Got to protect the home game, our house. But I'm not a fan of J.J. McCarthy.
No.
Never have been. So, any quarterback in college who can go a whole second half and they literally ran the ball against Ohio State or Penn State in order for them to win the game and not throw a ball. And so that was the first thing where I was like, I don't think he's that guy. And then Minnesota drafts him early. Well, he had a minor knee injury last year, beginning. And I'm like, okay, well, he hurt his knee. I think it was like a meniscus. That's like a month. They put him on IR for the season. So for me, I'm like, well, why would you do that? Why would you put a rookie quarterback on IR for the season for a minor knee injury? It wasn't an ACL, it wasn't an MCL or LCL. It was a minor injury. That's because I think they saw him and they were like, yeah, he's never going to see the field. He's not that good. We're going to roll with Sam Darnold. But they wanted to avoid the Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy hoopla that would have inevitably taken place.
Boy, they regret that, huh?
Absolutely. Because Sam Darnold looks good in Seattle. Looks really good in Seattle. So, for me, J.J. McCarthy, people look at it, he played well last week. He threw for $163. He had 3 touchdowns, but a lot of that was because Washington was doing everything they could in order to help Minnesota win that game.
Yeah.
So for me, we need to make this game about J.J. McCarthy. I don't think he's that guy. I think you rattle him a little bit, he's going to be throwing balls up, picks, sacks, fumbles. What I don't want is for them to have Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones take off on us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to avoid. Like, I thought Mason was pretty decent when he was at San Francisco, so I think he's a decent runner. Aaron Jones historically has eaten us up. Every single game he's played against us 4 times, is at over 100 yards rushing in every single game, scored a touchdown in every single game. So what I don't want is for him to have a flashback game against Dallas.
Yeah,
and
he's from Texas. I think he's from that area for some reason. That rings a bell.
And so now he's getting more carries than Jordan Mason. So we need to make sure that we limit the game and make this about J.J. McCarthy.
I agree.
Look, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, look, they can do damage, but I don't think the quarterback can do enough damage to get them the ball in areas that's going to hurt us. So stop the run and make this about J.J. McCarthy. If J.J. McCarthy throws for 300 plus and 3 touchdowns, okay. It'll be probably the first time I've seen him ever do it.
Yeah, he's you're right, Jeff. Everything you said is spot on, because my concern about it is not letting J.J. McCarthy have that game. J.J. McCarthy is the early Kirk Cousins. He's the Kirk Cousins now at an early age. You don't know what you're getting. Sometimes you get a good game out of him. Sometimes you don't. And they don't trust him enough to just air it out to Jefferson and Addison. That's why they're going to rely heavily on the running game, because in their mind, Dallas in the past was inefficient in the running game. We've gotten better. If we slow that running game, now McCarthy's going to be forced to throw the ball. And if he's forced to throw the ball, this can be one game during the entire season that our DBs have some Pickens. Mm-hmm. This could be the game, because he is a loose cannon. He is not a game winner. He's not even a game manager. They messed around and got rid of Darnold because they thought, well, Darnold had a freak season. He won't be consistent. And they went all in on McCarthy. And now they're realizing, we probably should have hung on to Darnold. And now, because of that Chicago game they had when they were losing and came back in the second half and McCarthy played lights out like Kirk Cousins in some games, they thought, we got our quarterback. But ever since, he's been straight trash. He's been straight trash. So this is the game. We don't need to be an Arizona Cardinals game. We need to stop that run immediately to force him to give our DBs some meat.
Yeah.
Because he cannot play the whole game running because Addison and Jefferson are going to be upset that they're not getting the ball. And the team knows that they got to get that ball in the air for those two premium receivers. And if they have to do that a lot, then our DBs are going to be suspect if he gets a little time because he'll get lucky every now and then. And that luck cannot be the luck that turns this game around. So, Dak, when you guys get the ball, up and down the field, up and down the field, up and down the field. Force McCarthy to have to do things that he doesn't want to do and make our DBs just eat all day long. But if this game gets close, going back and forth, McCarthy might get lucky throwing that ball downfield to Jefferson or Addison. And before you know it, oh, here goes the Arizona Cardinals again. So stop the run, force them to throw, and we might be able to eat all day.
I think 100% stopping the run. Their two running backs are averaging 4.6, 4.7 yards carry. What surprised me, and I'm not a big fan of the Vikings. I'll be honest with you, I hadn't watched one of their games. JJ McCarthy in college seemed to be like a running guy, and he doesn't really run a whole lot. He only has like 100 and something yards rushing, not a lot of carries. So he's not a really what you'd call a big quarterback. So maybe that's why he gets hurt a lot. Only throwing for 56% completion percentage. Put that in perspective. I think Dak is like damn near 70%. It's a huge swing. So to your point, Greg and Jeff, is get some pressure on him, make him throw the ball, and he's more than likely going to throw it in one of our players' hands, hopefully create some opportunity. The other thing, it looks like, like Justin Jefferson, to me, you could argue, and you won't get a fight out of me, that best receiver in the NFL. And he's not even averaging 13 yards of reception, which tells me that McCarthy, he's not getting the ball down the field to him and giving him any opportunity. So I think to your points, great. It's really going to come down to the Cowboys, JJ McCarthy, not letting him get some stupid, like, here we go moment where he ends up looking great. And then then he pulls it out in the end like that. I think it was the Bears game. There was a game I was watching, and I wasn't on a cruise. I was in the Keys. Now, see, Greg, my memory works as I start talking because we watched the Bears were playing the Vikings, and the Vikings just came out of nowhere and ended up winning that game. I think the game that it would have been for us would have been whatever the third game of the year.
No, it was like week 2 or something like that. It was week 2. I think it was week 2.
I think it was a Monday night game too. Monday or Thursday night game. They were getting beat.
They were getting beat. I turned it off at halftime. Couldn't believe they came back and won. Yeah, they looked awful the first half.
Yeah.
So we don't need anything like that happening to our Cowboys. We need to, what I call, just jump on them early and just get them the hell out of the way. The easiest way to stop the run is jump on them. Make them one-dimensional, right? Get our offense. Is there any concern? It just seems like our offense starts slow, Jeff. I mean, do you see that? I mean, that's something that they've got to figure that out because it seems like we don't get that fast start.
No, we have too many times 3 and out. But a lot of times, you and I sit back and say, "Oh, we're gonna run, pass. Okay, that's it." So for me, I got a couple things that our offense does that kind of bothers me. First one is Dak is our second leading rusher.
Is he really?
He's our second leading rusher. So, I mean, we have Javonte, that's it. Like, we have these running backs. I don't know why we're not utilizing them more. We got 3 first-rounders at the offensive line. Like, at some point, you gotta impose your will and start mashing on these people in the run game. But multiple running backs, Dak should not be our second leading rusher. So that's one of the concerns I have about our offense. Second one, like you said, slow start. Like, get up on teams quick. Mm-hmm. If we make this we up 2 touchdowns, 2 scores, and make it all about JJ McCarthy, we're gonna win this game.
Yeah,
we would win this game. You can turn off by the end of the third quarter. But sometimes we start slow. It takes us a little bit to get rolling, and then it becomes a game. I don't want it to be close. That's what Chicago did. They were up. I think Chicago was up maybe 13-0 or something like that, but it wasn't really convincing. and they had raced up and down the field, but they didn't do anything with it. And then he gets lucky and pulls out a win. That was like week 2. J.J. McCarthy, for me, has not shown anything that he's an actual NFL starter. So for me, get up by 2 scores, get up by 2 touchdowns, make them one-dimensional, make the running backs either have to stay in and chip, or they're just catching balls out on the flat, and the pursuit catches them, but do not allow them to run the game and then be able to operate off play action, because then I think JJ may luck into something.
He's like Tim. Is he like a little Tim Tebow? Like, you know, when Tim Tebow was in the NFL, he played like shit, but then all of a sudden you just let him hang around and he ends up pulling a game out of his ass.
I don't think he's that level of dog that Tebow was.
No, he's not a dog.
Yeah.
No. So I haven't seen anything from him to show me that he's an NFL starter, let alone the 4th pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Brian Flores likes to blitz.
Yeah.
For me, that plays into the Cowboys' hands.
Perfect. Yeah, great point.
Because if you can give Dak time and they're sending extra men, you got one-on-one on the outside.
Yeah.
For us, that's winning time for us. So for me, that also plays into our hands as long as we play fundamentally sound. No hands to the face on big plays. No, don't jump off sides. No false starts. No formation penalties, things like that. If we play clean, we'll be just fine.
Yeah, and turnovers are big, because turnovers killed us in that Detroit game. Without that, we're neck and neck. But the problem about and the blitz that I'm concerned about tonight, Detroit did that. Detroit knew, listen, if Dak doesn't get that ball out quick, because they're used to certain consistent run and pass routes and plays, which take a couple of seconds. If Dak can't get the ball out quick, they haven't seen much during the season. I haven't seen much during the season where we utilize that quick action pass a lot, because we got those 2 not dynamic receivers. We're counting on running the ball with Javonte, who sets it up, and then we get those quick action, not quick action, but we get those passes either post or outside or down the field. We didn't utilize a lot of screens, and when we did try to utilize a lot of screens on the blitz, they knew that's what we were going to do, because they were putting so much pressure on us on the blitz. They knew we were going to try to out it, and somebody always stayed outside, or Dak threw it in the ground, or he threw it over their head because it wasn't right there. We haven't been consistent in that boom, short pass right out the backfield when we got the blitz. We haven't been really consistent on that. And then if we did get the ball and they were running, they weren't getting that many yards. So Detroit did a good job of blitzing us and knowing that Dak was going to have to throw it on the outlets, and somebody was there all the time. So, and they left that deep part wide open, maybe one up the top. That was it, because they knew Dak wasn't going to be able to get the ball downfield. He was going to have to throw it out, if anything, or get sacked. And he got sacked and he threw the ball out, but we didn't make any gains on the outside. So we got to be real careful, because Brian Flores is a dog when it comes to blitz. He will sell house money on the blitz, and because he knows it's successful. And Cowboys are a good team to do it on. What does he have to lose? They got McCarthy over there that they know is not going to be a game changer. So what does he have to lose? Don't let Dak get the time to throw downfield to Pickens and Lamb or Flournoy. So blitz all damn day and see how
Dak is number 1 against the blitz, though. You're gonna do that.
That's
he's number 1.
But Flores is not going to change his defense.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Flores doesn't care. He's going to do it until it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work and he falls back, now we're back to where we want to be. But we are susceptible to that blitz. If it's most of the game, it hurts our downfield patterns.
I know. Yeah, it does. But Dak is the best in the business right now against the blitz. And if you blitz and you got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, good luck on an island. You're going to leave your cornerbacks. He's going to kill him. I mean, I
hope
I beg. It's like Parcells used to tell Romo, you're going to get to the point in your career where you're begging these guys you want these defenses to blitz. And I think Dak is kind of at that point of his career. What gives Dak trouble is disguised coverage schemes where he's thinking, and now he's got to get off this read and he's jumping onto another one. Then he's second guessing what's going through his mind. I think when it's quick reaction and Blitzing's quick reaction, I think Dak instinct. I think I beg him to do it. I hope they do it.
Well, and that's not that Dak can't over compensate for that. I just hope that he does, and I hope that our offensive coordinator adjusts if he has to. If Flores decides I'm gonna blitz the hell out of him, so if he does that and he adjusts, then we're fine. But that's one thing we know is going to come in this game with Brian Flores.
Yeah. Well, the thing that concerns me about him disguising blitzes, especially if they walk a bunch of men up to the line of scrimmage, there's sometimes where Dak he's premeditated, or he already knows where he wants to go before the ball snap. And if they sit there and slide a defensive end back into coverage, he fakes like he's coming in and rolls back in coverage, but he's already decided, he's already predetermined, hey, I'm throwing it to the slant right here, and throws it right into the numbers. That happens sometimes. But I got a question for you, Mike. Do you think we haven't, for me, I feel like we've underutilized Turpin. We talk about these quick passes, and especially a team that blitzes. So you want to use screens, draws, you want to use slants and stuff like that. Would this not be a key game for someone like Turpin to really make some noise? And especially if Jake isn't playing, would we not want to get the ball in his hands?
Yeah, the first thing I need Turpin to do is properly call fair catch or just catch the ball and run the damn thing. I don't know what the hell's going on. I like Turpin. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of over the Turpin offense, like 3 receiver. I think he should be their gadget guy. I think you like, to your point where I think you're going with is Jeff, is get him in open space.
There you go. Get
him in open space and let him kind of do his thing. He's small, but he's shifty. He's fast. I'd like to see, that, but I love Flournoy. I love, obviously Pickens and CD. And Turpin, man, just sometimes it's just, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I just remember one where he called a fake fair catch and then he ran the ball and he was going to do a backward pass. And I don't know. I'm worried about my man Turpin because I like Turpin, but I just, he scares me. He's getting to that point where every time he has the ball, I'm scared of what he's going to do.
I think because early in the season we utilized him, and then we had a period of time where we stopped. And I think he was trying to do too much every time he touched the ball because he was getting limited reps, limited opportunities. Obviously, after the game that Flournoy had last week, to me, he's already shown that he's probably a better option than Jalen Tolbert, which is great, but kind of disappointing, right?
Yeah.
6th-round draft picks are already shown that he's better than Tolbert, and Tolbert was a 2nd or 3rd.
And you got Mingo sitting there too.
And Mingo, yeah, right. So, but for me, I need, especially if someone's going to be blitzing me, I need someone who's going to be quick off the line over the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've said all season and last season, I said it, Mike, you remember when I said, first of all, I'm tired of them bringing that little toothpick lamb on the jet sweep in the backfield. I said, they're going to get them killed.
Terrible.
In one game, it happened. That was against the Bears. And I've always said, man, I'm watching Turpin. Turpin is open downfield. Why aren't we getting him the ball? This is the perfect season to do it. 2 premium bookends that we got the defense trying to cover. Turpin slips up the middle, slips out. He's wide open. There were plays where I saw Turpin wide open. But I understand. They got premium Lamb. They got premium Pickens. A lot of these plays are designed for them.
Only so much footballs to go around.
And they just don't see Turpin. But if you're thinking ahead and you're thinking these guys are going to be centered so much on these 2 bookends, let me make sure that if the opportunity affords itself where Turpin is open, get the ball downfield to him. Nobody can run side by side with Turpin. They
That's
can't.
the thing.
He is a road runner. They can't.
If they're overcompensating on the outside, you got CD, you got Pickens on the outside. If you throw Flournoy and Turpin in and catch them on a blitz, have one of them run that bang eight.
Yes.
That's 6 points all day long.
Yep.
That's 6 points all day long.
Yep. They got to be the offensive coordinator Shotty in them, and I know Shotty's brand new to actually being the head coach and all this, but he got to expand that scope of wisdom when it comes to different things you do on offense, because having those two bookends like that gives you so many options, because you know the defense is going to draw to them. And I'm like, man, the defense is going to try their damnedest to hold these two down. And just when they're not looking, we're going to pop this speed demon, this road runner, right down the middle, or even down the middle and out. Nobody's on Turpin when he gets in the backfield of the defense. But we're so accustomed to throwing to these two and let that get a little pressure when these two are covered. Then he throws out that short slant or that out pattern to Flournoy or Ferguson or Schoonmaker. But Turpin can be featured in this game and it would blow it up, because they're not featuring him enough as a wide receiver that he's labeled as.
I don't know about featuring him. I just think that he could have some key moments.
I mean, you get a couple packages in there to kind of just, it's almost like to some extent. I mean, you guys remember Dwayne Harris and Lucky Whitehead? They'd have those, you'd get these plays in there and get them going. I mean, Turpin definitely has some speed. He's the only punt returner in the NFL that has been penalized for illegal fair catch. And we just, there's been two. You just got to. He's just got to do that. And I think you talked about it, Greg. Sometimes it's just the way that he's balancing himself, and he's just kind of. But you're in the NFL now. I mean, you've got to figure that shit out, because we can't have that. I mean, those are impactful plays. That could end up hurting you, moving you back, and this and that. So we just need. And I need Turpin time. I need a damn punt return for a touchdown. I mean, we're due. Maybe today's the day.
Just give me good field position.
Yeah, give me good 30 yards on the punt return. I'll take that. Give me 30 yards, because he is every time they kick it to him, we're sitting back saying, it might be Turpin time. But don't forget this: the NFL teams have adjusted to Turpin. They'll have that punter to kick that ball higher instead of deeper, or if he can keep it deeper, because they know the higher it is, the amount of time for those ends to get down there and get on them are much, much better. So they know don't punt him a low, clean kick, because you're giving him an opportunity to use space and run right through it. So that is part of the antidote to the Turpin situation, because you see a lot of times he wants to take off, but he realizes he's got a fair catch because the gunners are coming down on him, and he don't want to take a chance of getting hit right there and fumbling the ball. So Turpin.
I just think with this offense, you can't get penalties. I mean, they just I'm one of those, man, just fair catch it, no penalty. Let's just start where we start, because we got the offense to do it. But, I love the impact. The one thing that is a concern, so let's go to some concerns before we wrap this bad boy up and get some predictions from everybody in the chat, is our special team. Now, I ain't talking about Aubrey. I mean, I don't know if you get much better than that.
Right.
But a lot, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong and yell at me. A lot of people after that Lion game is like, man, our defense sucked. Our defense did this. And our defense was put in very bad positions by our special teams. When you have the Lions with that offense starting at the 50 and starting at the 45 or starting at their own position, you're asking our defense to defend a short field, which is it's hard for any defense to do, let alone our defense, right? You need the longer the drive, the more opportunity it is for them to get the punt. I thought our defense played well early. I thought Eberflus got away from getting that rush up the middle. I thought they should have attacked Goff a lot more. I wish they would have blitzed a lot more. So I do understand that part of it. But our special teams has got to get better on kickoff returns and punt returns. But I think it was primarily kickoff returns was their Achilles heel. But, I mean, what's your concern level of the special teams? Because you can't continue to give teams short fields. You're just asking for trouble. What do you say, Jeff?
Well, if we believe in the coaching, they will notice what took place last week, and they'll have made the correct changes to address those problems. So, I mean, for me, I don't need anything flashy from special teams. I just need you to be consistent. I need you to play assignment football. Okay, they get the ball average at the 25-yard line on kickoff returns. Cool, no problem. When I need our offense to sustain drives a little bit so that even if we don't score, we're punting the ball, they're receiving it somewhere inside their 20-yard line, 10-yard line, and getting people down there and gang tackling the punt return. Like, nothing flashy. I just need the basic fundamental things from our special teams units. Yeah. They've shown that they can do it. They just didn't do it last week. So you've had 12 days, close to that, 11 days to address those things. I'm sure that they saw the film. I'm sure they addressed it. I'm hoping that we'll see those changes today. We got the best kicker in the business. So as long as, Turpin doesn't fumble one, like, again, not asking for anything, just basic fundamental special teams. That's it. If we do that, we're fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I just want to see. I really want to see a consistent downfield drive by our offense, where they don't leave our defense on the field real quick and having to defend a McCarthy that all of a sudden against the Cowboys, he's having a good game. I just want our offense to make it so bad for the Vikings that they have to take chances. And I really believe of all the games we played this season, if our offense does that, our defensive backs are going to look today like they got it. Like, oh, hell, man, our defensive backs have improved. No, not necessarily. It's just that McCarthy got desperate and just started throwing picks. And it's going to make our defense look like they played a different game if we put that pressure on McCarthy and force him to have to throw the ball. Because if he has just a little bitty time and he's throwing to Jefferson and Addison, with our defensive backs, it can be a long day. Yeah. So Dak and that offense got to say, we ain't relying on the defense, not to cut them. We're not relying on the defense. We're going to go down and try to score every time we got the ball. Because if we do that, it forces Minnesota to have to do things that are unorthodox compared to what they did against Washington last week. They're coming off of that Washington win like they just annihilated somebody and that they played their best game all season. So they're thinking they're going to come into Dallas and stay on that same level of hype.
Oh, yeah.
They are motivated, and they want to come in and pull the Arizona Cardinals. And McCarthy, it's like at the roulette wheel. Is this the game McCarthy's going to have a good game on or not? So we don't want another Jacoby Brissett to come into Dallas and have McCarthy do the same thing. So Dak, take that ball down the field, score every time, and that'll put the pressure on them that we need. And special teams, I'm not so concerned about, yes, you don't put us in a good position a lot of times on punt returns and kickoffs, but I'm not so concerned about them if the offense does their job, because our defense will get an opportunity to get easy picks.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Want to give a quick shout out to my man Cuts by Jones. If you guys look over my shoulder, you see my Miami U. They're holding up the U. If you look over here, you see which side? There, that side. There you go. Got the Miami Hurricanes. Those are all custom woodwork by Cuts by Jones. He does phenomenal work. I know Jeff. He did a beautiful piece for your son.
Fantastic.
So I mean, he does phenomenal stuff. He'll do anything but Eagles. We ain't doing no Eagles stuff. But
stuff up there.
And I know Greg has got some. So if you guys are looking, it might be too close to get it done by the holidays, but he does phenomenal work. So if you get an opportunity, it's Cuts by Jones. You can find him on all social media platforms. If you got any questions, you can always DM me. But I haven't seen anything he can't do. So I would definitely look at it. He's also doing some chains. He's doing that, those big chains. He's getting the logos on there, whatever you want. He's doing stuff for Dallas Cowboy .com shows. He's doing their logos. So he's doing some phenomenal stuff. And give him a shout out, man. It's custom. It's one of a kind. You're not going to see a Miami piece like you got over there with the U. As soon as we get that national championship, he's going to be making me a beautiful one with him holding up that beautiful trophy. Number 6, it'd be so nice. And the Cowboys hold up number 6 this year. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful year.
Can I get my lunch from the Miami getting into the
I'm happy
first?
To pay that one. I'm happy to pay that
Look,
one.
Before he tries to get me with a double or nothing. No, I'll go ahead and take what I got.
Yeah.
Now, just so you guys know, the bet was Jeff assured me. He knew I was stressed. He said, you guys are going to get in the college football playoffs. I said, I just think they're going to screw us and put Notre Dame in. But so I bet him a lunch. Hopefully the jinx, you do that reverse psychology. So a lunch for me is worth it if my Canes get in the playoffs. So they did. So.
And it wasn't, and he didn't say it like if he said it so relaxed and comfortable, like a savant, like he knew it. And even when the show was over, I'm thinking, man, he said that a little bit too comfortable. I wonder if he knows something. And then when it happened, I said, holy shit. He's right. We did get in. Sit down, Jeff.
Oh, man.
So nonchalant, like, oh, man, it's academic.
Yes. Hey, April, how are you?
What's up, April?
Good morning. So now we got to get into prediction time because I got to get back to work because I know some people need they want to watch football today, so I got to help out the best I can. So we're gonna get into the predictions. Let me get to the right screen. So here we go. I'm getting my work done. So let's look at Sunday Night Football. We talked about the Cowboys. Sometimes the Cowboys do what the Cowboys do when you need them most, and this is a game that we need them most. We always get the best game from the opponent, so we really can't take and say, the Vikings have been up and down, yada yada. We got to expect the Vikings are going to give us their best punch. So I need some predictions from all you guys. We got 300 of you in the chat. I need you to tell me who's going to win and what's the score. But Jeff, break it down for us and give me what you think is going to happen. And then Greg, you follow.
So it's a Sunday night game. Obviously, we got to go to work tomorrow. I love it when we're up big so I can kind of go to sleep a little bit early in the night, but that's not going to happen. It's going to be 28-20 going into the fourth quarter. We're going to force JJ to turn the ball over a couple times. I think final score is 38-20 Dallas. It's going to look like a comfortable win. We're going to see a lot of good things from the offense, some things on the defense that we like. Again, assignment football from special teams. So I think we get this win. I'm not overly concerned about it. Normally sometimes you get that 50-50. It's a Sunday night game, but we've had 11 days off. We've had plenty of time to prepare. For me, 38-20, Cowboys take it going away in the fourth quarter.
We're kind of close, Jeff. We're close because I'm thinking 38-27. I'm thinking 38-27. One of them might be a garbage touchdown, but 38-27. And that's based off how they played. Yeah, Washington is garbage. But the fire, the motivation, and the drive that they had last week, they're bringing that with them. So they're going to play to that level as much as they possibly can. And then the game will be determined, like we all said, with McCarthy. Because where goes McCarthy goes the Minnesota Vikings. But 38-27 is my prediction that I'm hoping. If we don't get in the 30s, in this game, it's going to be ugly because this ain't going to be a defensive battle. So 38-27, we take this one. We don't lose back-to-back, and then we look forward to the charge. I think Chargers are next. Yeah, we look forward to the Chargers and try to keep this thing alive. And I don't have to go to work tomorrow. So either way, I'm wearing that victory jersey. or I'm putting on the Miami Hurricanes tomorrow.
It's win-win for us, Greg.
That's
We're
right.
because it's playoff week. I mean, we're gonna move on to Miami Hurricanes if God forbid something bad happens. But I think this is gonna be an interesting game. I think a couple things. I'm a superstitious person. I always look at trends and I'm trying to figure out. Okay, the Vikings had their best win. They're feeling pretty good. They didn't really beat a great team. I think Washington was just a shell of themselves. So I think they're going to come in a little confident, thinking they got their stuff together and feeling good. And I think the Cowboys are going to slap them in the mouth. And I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win it pretty easily. The score may not show that, but I still say Dallas is going to win by double digits, 34-24. Maybe the Vikings get a late score, but I think Dallas is going to control this game. I think Javonte Williams I believe, who do I give credit to? Because he brought up a good point. The Sports 78. I think Javonte Williams against his defense could have a nice day. I'm just expecting huge things from George Pickens this game. I think you see, and hopefully I'm not wrong, and you guys record this, but when a competitor is challenged, and I think George Pickens felt challenged by Sherman and by some of the media and some of the stuff that you're seeing. I think when you see guys like that, I think back to Mike. I know I'm old, but I think back to Michael Irvin. And Michael Irvin's told the story of he was playing the Cardinals. And this guy, I forgot his name, the DB, was running and chirping his mouth. And Michael Irvin's like, man, I wasn't even into this game, but now this guy wants to run his mouth. I mean, and then he absolutely annihilated. Like 200. It was one of his best games of his career, 200-something yards, 2 touchdowns or whatever it was. I think George Pickens is going to be that kind of motivated to shut people up and kill the noise. So I'm expecting a big game, 34-24. I think the defense will be fine, but I think our offense at home is going to be rolling. We're going to get this thing going. The bigger question is, I'll leave it at this. Could somehow the Raiders pull off a miracle with Kenny Pickett, who played for the Eagles, a backup quarterback? Could the Raiders somehow pull a miracle and just continue the free fall of the Eagles and just kind of help the Cowboys get closer? What do you say, Jeff, real quick?
If they can first force some turnovers, maybe. But the Raiders look like a franchise that literally needs to burn to the ground.
Bad. It's bad.
They're really, really bad. I mean,
and any given Sunday, a lucky dog gets that bone. I'm just looking more forward to Mariota beating Philadelphia and Buffalo beating Philadelphia.
I think that's their better options. I think this Raider game, what I don't want is I don't want the Raiders to be their confidence game. So I do want them to struggle. I don't think they're going to lose. I just think Raiders are terrible. I think the Raiders are just awful.
And where are they playing? Where are they playing at? In Vegas?
Does anyone? Let me just yap while I look, and I'll look real quick. But
not that it would make a big difference, but if they're playing in Vegas, then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, they got a little chance.
It is at Philly.
Chances are slim to none, and I think Slim just walked out the door.
Yeah, that's right. They were in at the Chargers. That probably makes sense. They wouldn't have them go cross country 2 weeks in a row. So in Philly, yeah. But I tell you what, this is what you can look for. This is your glimmer of hope. Jalen Hurts is struggling. I mean, Jesus. I mean, he's playing like shit. Let's just can't make mince words about it. If they struggle early, that fan base and that crowd is already on edge. And I think that could cause them problems. I think for Philly, they got to get off to a fast start. And I hate to say take the crowd out of it. They got to take the crowd out of it because they're out for blood. They're out for blood. This fan base. I love the passion. They have no room for any air. There's no the only people who give a crap that they won a Super Bowl is Carl. I don't even know if Bobby cares anymore, but Carl's still hanging out. These fans, they forgot that it's on to this year. And if you ain't getting better, get the hell out of here. They want Hurts gone. They want Sirianni gone. They want AJ Brown's had his best 3-game stretch. They lost every game. He's still complaining.
Sounds like some entitled fans. That's what I'm. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Some entitled fans. Like we're not a full season removed from being champs.
Oh,
because in the
man.
chat, they're talking about current Super Bowl champs.
When you wait 55 years to get your first one, I mean, you know what? You're trying to make up for lost time. So I respect it. I always and yes, Saquon looked good against, and they still lost. I mean, everything was working. The defense was there. The running game was going. AJ Brown, and they still found a way to lose a game at what looked like it was going to be a get-right game for them. So I don't know if this is going to be the get-right game. It should be because the Raiders are trash. But if they get off slow and just kind of stumble a little bit, that fan base is going to absolutely
you see, the Raiders, one thing about the Raiders that everybody's not paying attention to, their defense isn't losing the games for them. It's their offense.
No, their defense has been fine.
Their defense is decent. So their defense can keep them in the game against Philly. Now, you said Pickens is going to be quarterback?
Pickett. Yeah, Pickett.
Quarterback. That may be the game changer right there, because Geno is exit stage left after this season. But that might be the game changer because their defense keeps them in the games. It's just their offense. Now, Pickett comes in and does a little something. Too. Yeah, if he comes in and does a little something, it might be a whole different story. But Philly's got to ride this horse until this horse belly starts to sag, because they ain't been in this situation in a long time. They know they're not going to get 5 in their lifetime. So they got to, and they just come fresh off the Super Bowl. And they talk more smack worldwide about us than they do anybody else. That's why they want to implode as fans, because they talk too much shit and got to deal with us every time they lose. They fear facing us more than anybody else in the world when they lose. And the last thing they want to do is lose this division after the way we started and coming back. And then all they'll do is fall back. Well, we got the Super Bowl. And I always tell them all the time when they talk, when you get 5, then you can come to the shop and start talking. Until you get 5, don't want to hear it.
And Snow is the neutralized. Snow in Philly. I don't live there. I live in Florida, so I don't have to worry about that garbage. But but that's an equalizer though sometimes, right? I mean, it kind of changes, and the thing is, you got to remember, Genty's still a young, I know their offensive line stinks, but Snow may be what the doctor ordered for him. He played at Boise. He's used to that weather, and if he gets going, Philly's had trouble against the run a little bit. They haven't been great, but I'm just looking for any avenue, any hope to give the Raiders a win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Who knows? It's snowing. And this is probably the one time where Philly, the players are wishing that they were playing away from home.
Yes.
Because if they start off slow, the Bluebird's going to be out quick. Yeah. And it will be more and more and more pressure, because Jalen, he looks bad, like really, really bad. Now, sometimes it looks like the defense, especially the corners, are running the routes for the receivers, but sometimes he's just missing throws.
Yeah.
If he does that early in the game and the teams and the fans see that he's just missing throws, boy, it could be a long game for Philly. But
yeah. And we talked about it before the show, and I was watching a podcast. I forgot who it was, but they were talking about Hurts, and he's just so. I always liked him in Alabama, and I thought, he got kind of beat out by Tua. They stripped him of that in the national championship. That could kill careers, but it didn't. He went to Oklahoma. Obviously, still had a good season. Gets drafted by the Eagles. Wins a Super Bowl. I've always liked him as a person, but he's just so kind of just unemotional. Yeah. And just his personality just doesn't really show much. And some players, on this podcast were talking, and they just said it's just interesting that AJ Brown's calling him out, other players, the media, all this stuff, and none of the players are like speaking vocally, having his back. So you wonder about the leadership and just how he's respected in the locker room. I don't know. I'm not there, but it's just an odd dynamic that Hurts has in Philly, because they've had one of the best winning percentages. Same thing with Sirianni. They've had one of the best winning percentages over the last, years he started. But I think some of those guys would just be happy to find someone else. It's just weird.
They lost it. They don't have the leadership.
Yeah.
Since Jason Kelsey's been gone, because really the first people going to protect the quarterback's going to be that offensive line. Well, Jason Kelsey was the face. He was the one everyone knew. He was the one who was the most outspoken. He's gone. And then all the other offensive linemen are either hurt or playing poorly. So who's going to come to his rescue? Diva wide receivers? Not. No.
And their two dynamic defensive backs are gone. They got up out Garner, and I forgot the other one. But Philly's just
you talking about?
Yeah, Philly isn't hungry. Philly, you can see it in there. They're not hungry to go back to back. It's almost like we've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3-4 years. We lost one, we won one. We're just not that hungry to go back again and try to go back to back. And they're winning off a reputation right now for this season. And if they get the division, if we went out, they get the division, it's going to be slight. They should be leapfrogs away from us in the division. It shouldn't even be a matter of doubt right now that they got the division. But they're not playing that way. And if they do make the playoffs, they're going to be one and done because they're just not hungry. They're not hungry. I don't think they're hungry enough to go in there. And don't forget, they lost some key figures on that defense and offense that really helped put that whole thing together and that leadership. So they're just not that hungry again to keep going back to back. I question our motivation at times.
Yeah.
Because Clowney, I'll never forget what Clowney said when he did that interview when Dallas picked him up. He looked around and said, man, these guys, Jerry spoiled these guys. These guys got it made. And I would assume that Clowney has seen organizations like that and been in facilities like that. But to see how Clowney saw that after being in the league so long, having an epiphany like, man, I can see why these guys aren't playing like dogs of motivation. What do they have?
Emmitt Smith said the same thing.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith said the same thing. They're all living off the reputation that team, that 90s Cowboys team brought to Dallas. And they're all reaping the benefits from it.
And they're living the comfort life. It's almost as if they can walk to the stadium and glide through the locker room and pedicure, manicure. I mean, they got everything they need.
We don't want to go down this path because it's going to ultimately end in one place because there's one person who makes all that happen.
We don't want to go there then.
That's what I said. So we don't want to go down that path because you know where we're going to end up.
We don't want to go there.
It's I mean, Darren Woodson in that one in the pivot, he even mentioned it too. He said it's just when you, and he has an office there, for his business and stuff. So he sees it every day and he's just like, it's the Taj Mahal. And, I'm a Clubber Lang guy, I'm you're in the basement. I mean, that's how you get you're fighting for your life. And, like Mickey told Rocky, the worst thing that ever happened to a fighter is he becomes civilized. And I think
became civilized.
I think, when you look at the Cowboys in the 90s and where the training camp was and the facilities, that was all the OG, that was all the old G stuff from back in the day. So they didn't have it. You see the old pictures. I think the weight room was outside and stuff. So it's definitely a lot different. And maybe that's why they're sometimes not as hungry, a little soft. The pampered, all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, we are going to wrap it up. We've been hanging for an hour and a half, much longer than I thought, but we had a great turnout. So I said, you know what, keep this train rolling. So Cowboys, you guys have a great day. But if you could do the cave a favor, is on your way out, thumbs up right below the faces. I hate doing that. My friend says, you shouldn't do that, but you know what I mean. Below the bottom. I'm trying not to point, but down there, hit the thumbs up. And like I said, we qualified with the channel growing so much that we do memberships. And if you see the little join thing, you can join, be part of the Cowboys Cave family. It's just a monetary donation that you can make monthly. And I'm going to be doing member-only shows, giveaways primarily, not really shows, but I'm going to do giveaways where I have gift cards for NFL Shop because I shop a lot and I get all these gift cards through my credit card. So I'm always going to give back. Also, as you can see, I expanded my cave My daughter's in college. She doesn't know it, but her room's been taken over as well. She'll find out on Monday when she comes home. So I got too much stuff. So sometimes I got to give away things. I also got players that were on the show that I sent out some pictures to. I know Kevin Gogan. I know Jesse Holly signed some stuff and some others that I'll be doing some giveaways. So great opportunity. I always give back. I think if you do it, you are going to end up doing better and better, and you're getting more back. So definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in and checking out the cave. Hit that like on your way out. Last words, and then we're out of here. So Greg, give us your final thoughts, and then Jeff, and then we're done.
Well, like at the video I did earlier this week, fans, do not count us out until the math doesn't add up. Okay? Don't count us out till the math doesn't add up. I don't want the bandwagon fans coming out if we get in there and get in division and y'all talking about, yeah, I knew we can do it. Because I see you in my TikTok. I know exactly who you are that's saying this, and I'll come back. You know, I normally don't clown back anybody that says anything negative at all. But the ones that's saying that, if we get back in this, I'm going to call you bandwagon, and everybody on TikTok, if you see me type bandwagon, then you know who that is, because I saw them riding it, hiding, and coming out at the last minute. So let's keep flying those flags. Mine went out early this morning. Stay Cowboys true and loyal. We got this today, but let's just take it one game at a time.
Yes. Jeff, what do you got?
Yeah, for me, just control what you can control. Right? So for me, take care of business tonight, do the things we're supposed to do, and win this game. Let everything else handle let everything else fall where it may. I'm good with if we win out and don't make the playoffs, I'm okay because we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed overall for the season.
Not happy.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we missed out, but I'm glad that I'm seeing progress. Because when I think back to that Arizona game and how I felt after that game right there, like I was hot. I was Hulk Hogan, rip your shirt hot. I was mad because it was such a key game, and for us to play so flat. Yeah. I've seen the progress since then. Yeah. So if we continue to just focus on what we can control, focus on what we need to do, one game at a time, let's see where we are at the end of the year.
Absolutely. We'll get it worked out, and definitely. And I do love Philly fans that hang out in the chat and ride the D. I think it's great. I think I do appreciate it. It's always thankful. And I've been able to laugh at you guys for the last 3 weeks. So it's actually been fun watching the meltdown in Philly. So definitely enjoy it. Whatever happens. I need 8 wins. I need 8 wins so I can collect my money. And it'd be great if they do it the next 2 weeks. I have it right before the holiday. But
it's money in the bank, Mike. That's money in the bank.
That's what I need to hear.
I said it.
So you guys have a great Sunday. I appreciate it. We will see you Monday live. If I'm up all night still doing other stuff, we may be back after the show, but definitely appreciate it. You guys have a good one. We'll see you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.